Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Just Plain Living. I'm John Gray, and I'm proud to be here.
I'm as proud as you are, John. I'm Peggy Burton. How good to see you.
It's good to be
You're all
seen.
dressed up.
Well,
Where are
so
you going?
Huh? Where am I going? I'm going after the show. Of course, I always try to dress up for the show. I believe that gentlemen should still dress in this country. I've talked to some of the young boys over at the bank, and I said, why don't y'all look like bankers? You're sitting there in a sweatshirt. I said, wear a coat and a tie to where people feel like you care about what you're going to do with their money.
Yeah.
And so some of the younger ones are starting to dress again.
Good.
And so it's kind of funny. I worked at Clyde Phillips for a long time, and I like wearing clothes, dress clothes.
I thought you might be all dressed up to go to the jazz concert.
Well, I was getting to that, Peggy.
Oh, okay,
I was getting to that. And I thought, well, while I'm dressed up, today is International Jazz Day. And tonight, Alexis Cole is going to be at South Jackson Civic Center.
And she is the real deal. Alexis is a wonderful performer, and she's been, I'm not sure how many years, but she's still young and had a gorgeous voice. And
so that's great.
Yep.
And we have some friends coming in from Nashville.
Right. And preceding her event, which starts at 7 o'clock, we have the Christian Academy from Winchester. Some of their students will do some music in the front room.
Oh, wonderful.
And Noel Clements will have a lot of his artwork will be displayed. Noel Clements.
Noel, good. Noel is, matter of fact, Noel has a piece right behind me here. He's one of the members of the Copper Daisy Art Collective that we've started to where artists can get together. Yeah, show that picture back there. That's one of his pieces. Noel is just brilliant. Look at that.
He does such a great job with colors and.
Well, and I mean, it's real looking. The shadows on the water, how do you get that? Well, you just don't put any paint there.
Yes.
Or you put white paint there.
A great painting, you can move yourself into it if it's good enough.
Oh yeah. And he's a wonderfully talented man. So we're looking forward to coming. We're looking forward to coming tonight to that. And our friends are, friends like I say. One of them, Tom Priestmeyer, has a jazz show on radio in Nashville. They're coming. Donna was a producer for Channel 4 for years.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, she produced television shows.
That's wonderful.
Channel. She was with Channel 4, and then she was with Country Music CMT.
Yeah.
Did work with them as well.
Well, I love that she loves jazz.
Yeah. Well, they go to California to what's the big jazz festival out there?
I don't know.
That they have on a hilltop out there.
Oh yeah.
That they've had it for years and years and years and years and years, but they go every year.
A good jazz musician, well, is a wonderful thing because you're not listening to what you hear every day. It's a little different. A lot of improvisation, and they're usually extremely talented, but jazz singers are few and far between that are really good.
Yes.
Some people claim to be jazz singers that just are a singer that's singing a jazz song.
Or they're more bluesy than they are jazzy.
Well, I don't know about that. You can take almost anything and make it a jazz song.
Sure.
It's just the way you interpret it and all that.
And the music has a lot to do with that.
I feel lucky that we were able to get her.
Oh, yes. And she's coming in from California.
And
California to Tullahoma. Now, the last time something like that happened, Jed Clampett found some oil and moved to Beverly.
Right.
Took Granny and all the Clampett family out there. Now they're coming back from California to Tennessee.
This jazz concert is kind of the last performing arts thing in my series that I bring in, and I hope that more people will come out. I know we have a lot of theater, and also we're having the international. Speaking of international jazz, we have the International Folk Dancers coming again in June, and I'm responsible for that. So I'm hoping people will come out for that.
Yeah,
too.
that was wonderful last year when they were here.
I thought it was fantastic. This year there's also 4 countries, and I'm probably going to get them wrong. I know, of course, the United States is a part of it because they sponsor it. And we have Mexico was supposed to come last year, and something happened with getting across the border.
Wouldn't imagine that.
But anyway, we do have Mexico this year, and I believe Great Britain, and I can't remember if it's France or someone else, so don't quote me on that last one.
No, but they'll be here, 4 different nations doing dancing. And, you know, there's nothing better to have in your toolbox than a dance step.
I'll agree with
you.
You
know, when you get in a position to where you just don't know what to do,
start dancing.
Start dancing.
and
it gets you out of all kinds of trouble. You can make them laugh. You can make them cry. Just dance, and everything will
That's
just
why I've
all
always
work
loved
out.
the country song, I Hope You Dance.
Yeah, I hope you dance.
Everybody needs to dance a little in their lives.
I wrote a piece called She Danced.
Oh, I haven't heard that one.
You haven't?
No.
Oh, it was on Father's Day.
Give me a few bars.
Well, I can't right now.
Oh, sorry.
But the whole thing was, it was Father's Day, and Jacob had somewhere he had to be, and Fran had somewhere she had to be, and I was all by myself on Father's Day, so I wrote myself
a song
to the Caribbean.
Good for you.
And I wrote, I was sitting on a beach in the Caribbean, and she came up out of the sea, and she danced.
And she danced. I wish I could write myself by the...
Oh, you can. All you have to do is just start writing, close your eyes, and you can go right there.
You go
Speaking
right there.
about writing, you know, we've got Becky Buller, the one and only Becky Buller on this show today. She is 2 things for me. I think she is a superstar.
Oh, absolutely.
Because she is. But more than that, to me, she's a hero.
Oh, yeah.
And she's a superhero because of what she stands for, how she operates, her faith, and just the girl she is.
Well, we're bringing her
she's
back.
a hero.
We're bringing her back to the South Jackson Performing Arts stage this year.
Good.
In December, and I'm thrilled to death about that.
And she's gonna be down in the caverns this week, and they're playing
wonderful.
down there. And we'll talk about that. But sometimes it's hard to get to Becky, and Becky, I hope Becky's listening out there. So, you know, I usually read some stuff, and so today, instead of some short little quotes and all that, I have a couple lyric sheets I'm gonna read.
All right.
Because they say good things. And this one I wrote is called Shine.
Shine.
And Becky, if anybody shines, Becky shines. Often I feel like I've been left behind, still standing in the back of the line. The glow up ahead seems brighter than bright, but I don't quit. I continue to fight, and I let my little light shine. Hold my head up, embrace the grind, hone my craft time after time, polish with love till they'd have to be blind not to see my little light shine. The business has problems seeing past its debt, so those who hold favors are the ones that get. Millions are left out who need so much. I will work for them and hope they are touched when I let my little light shine. Held up in a place they can't help but find. The craft I've honed time after time, polished with love till they'd have to be blind not to see my little light shine. Don't do it for fortune, don't do it for fame, but for those on the porch in search of a flame. So I let my little light shine, hold my head up, embrace the grind. Hone on my craft time after time, polish with love till they'd have to be blind not to see my little light shine.
That's sweet, John.
And this is one I wrote, and it's a little bit kind of about self. I'm building a vessel for my Lord, a brand new vessel for my Lord, and when I'm finished, I'll set the sail and climb on board. I'm building a vessel for my Lord. Every plank will be compassion sealed, from bow to stern, from deck to keel. each tightly fit and held in place with tongue and groove of holy grace. The helm a perfect circle formed out of hope, truths carried on the deck secured with righteous rope. The mainsail tight filled with faith to labor through the squall, then share the cargo of love to each port of call. I'm building a vessel for my Lord, a brand new vessel for my Lord, and when I'm finished, I'll set the sail and climb on board. I can't wait till I embark, so all the world can see the brand new vessel for my Lord is a brand new me. I'm building a vessel for my Lord, a brand new vessel for my Lord, and when I'm finished, I'll set the sail and climb on board.
Have you put that to music?
I'm hoping Becky Buller will put it to music.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've sung it, but when I sing it like I can't think of his name.
You can't think of his name.
Oh, he sings a cappella, old shape note stuff.
Oh.
Dr. Ralph Stanley.
Oh, okay.
I'm building a vessel for my Lord, a brand new vessel for my Lord. And when I'm finished, I'll set sail and climb on board. I'm building a vessel for my Lord.
Well, have you sent that to him?
Him?
Yeah.
No. I think Ralph probably got all he needs.
Yeah, he probably does.
The thing about it is I write it because it makes me happy, and if it gets somewhere, that's okay, and if it doesn't, it has a good home right here.
I think the number one thing to do anything is to make you happy.
That's it. Makes me happy.
But once in a while, you do something.
Well, it'd be nice to get paid every now and then for some stuff.
I know, 30 cents even.
You know, whatever. You know, I wrote a song one time, Bunny ain't nothing but trouble, I'm gonna give all mine away. You know, and the more you make, the bigger your problems are.
There you go.
Yeah, it don't buy you. I've never seen a Brinks truck pull up to a grave and dump a bunch of coins and dollar bills in that grave hole.
That's true.
It ain't going with you, folks. So what the difference does it make?
Right.
What we're going to do right now, we just no telling how much time we're going to spend having fun today. Hope you've enjoyed the useless drivel. We're going to take a quick commercial and we'll be back with Becky Buller.
Oh, great.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For many senior citizens, life looks like this, but it doesn't have to. When you make your home at Parkview Senior Living, life after retirement takes on a whole new meaning. Daily exercise options, fun outings, happy hour, game nights, movies and popcorn, arts and crafts, enjoying friends over chef-prepared meals. Parkview Senior Living, where you're always home, but you're never home alone.
He's a little bit of you, he's a little bit of me. He's the trash along the roadside of Tennessee. He's the garbage that we find. He's the dream we left behind. Lord, there ain't no lower class than Tennessee trash. A throwaway bottle or pop-top can may not seem much to a traveling man, but a little bit of litter goes a long, long way. Growing, getting bigger every day. Tennessee trash messing up the highways. Tennessee trash jogging up the byways. Lord, there ain't no lower class than Tennessee trash. Lord, there ain't no lower class than Tennessee trash.
We have met the enemy, and he is us.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
I fell in love with Tennessee from the second that I saw it. From the beautiful rolling hills to the beautiful rivers and streams, the ecosystem and the wildlife are awesome here. But it needs constant care, and that means picking up litter and trash every single chance you get. It's totally polluting the ecosystem, totally polluting the natural resources, and it's a big hazard for our local wildlife. Please join NobodyTrashesTennessee.com and join me in keeping Tennessee beautiful and keeping this part of our great legacy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back and we're getting ready to be entertained and educated. So I'm going to take you over to switch over to this other screen over here, and there is one of my favorite people in the world, Miss Becky Buller.
Hey, John.
And she is here to help promote an event that's going to be Thursday night at the Caverns.
This Thursday night, May 2nd, at the Caverns in Pelham, Tennessee.
And introduce this gentleman right here.
Well, I've brought Tom Sanders along with me, Executive Director of the South Cumberland Community Fund.
That's right.
And the event is a benefit for the South Cumberland Community Fund. And Tom's going to tell you about what they do. They're doing some really great stuff up on the mountain.
Yeah, so we've been in operation for 11 or 12 years. We're a grant-making organization. We've given about $1.5 million in grants over our history, but we also do a lot of community development where we go in and we try to work with partners on the plateau to solve community problems like transportation and housing and access to medical care and that sort of thing. So we give money away to people, and then we spend money on doing great stuff.
And one of the things that they spend money on is old-time music instruction in Grundy County schools, and that's in partnership with the Caverns. Would you tell them more about that?
Yeah, we're actually really lucky that we've been funded for several years by the McConnell Foundation to support music on the plateau, and so we've been buying instruments for kids on the plateau. The Ben Ayers, who's the music teacher in the primary schools in Grundy County, has an instrument library that we were able to put together for him. Then with a grant that we got from the Caverns, we've been able to provide music lessons to kids after school. And then one year, Ben did these intense music camps for a summer. I don't know if we'll be able to do that again, but I hope we will. It's been really great. And the kids are going to get to play at the concert. So
yes, the Becky Buller Band gets to close for the Grundy County school students and the Monteagle Top of the Rock Choir.
Right. Yep.
Wow. And I like the way you put that. Instead of saying they're opening for you,
Yeah, we get to close for them.
they're the stars and
Yeah.
you're closing for them.
You never want to follow kids.
No.
So come for the kids. There's going to be food trucks, and then stick around, and we're going to play for you after that. And we're going to debut music from my new record, Jubilee, that is coming out May 17th.
And that's going to be,
I have an album release party in Nashville, May 16th, the day before. But can I sing a song for you?
oh, you can do anything. This whole building's yours.
Do we have time for a couple songs?
We can do whatever you want.
Well, I'll sing this song and then we'll talk a little bit more.
Yeah.
This is the title cut of my new record, and this new album, it's a little different. It's a song cycle, and that means that all the songs are meant to be listened to in sequence in its entirety because they tell a story. And this is the seed from which the entire song cycle blossomed. And I wrote this with Aoife O'Donovan, Grammy Award-winning songwriter. She's with the group I'm With Her. She performs with the Goat Rodeo Sessions. Chris Thiele, Nickel Creek, that whole bunch. She's part of that crowd. And it was just an honor to get to write with her. This is called Jubilee.
Don't we all?
We do, yeah. That's right.
I say, what do you get, a few hallelujahs and an amen there? Huh?
Yeah,
Outstanding.
Thank you.
You just keep getting better and better.
Oh, I hope it gets better.
It is. It is just amazing.
Thank you.
It's just amazing.
Thank you.
Now this is going to be at the Caverns.
At the Caverns.
Is where it's going to be.
In the cave.
May 2nd,
May 2nd.
Thursday,
You know,
May 2nd. That's
and
this week.
a lot of people might not have been to this new location that we're in.
Right.
The old caverns up above. Sparta up in that area up in there where it was.
Right.
Midville.
Excuse me.
And this cavern, if you're afraid of caves, which I'm a little claustrophobic myself, this is just you just walk in and there it is. It's like walking into a building. Don't wear nice shoes. Be prepared for it's a little muddy, just a little. It's a little cool, so wear a coat. And be prepared to have fun because it's just fun venue. They've done it up really nice in there, and it's a great experience.
You know, we've had the guy on the show before.
Todd Mayo.
Huh?
Todd Mayo, that guy?
Yeah, he's the one I guess his family owns it, and he's the one who does all the setup and everything like that. And his brother's the one, I think, who's in the head of the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
But he's the one who gets everything done.
The Caverns has been just a really great partner with us. They've been generous to us, but they're a really great employer on the plateau. So
Right.
A lot of folks that live in the area, you go to Pelham and take a left.
Yep, and they've
follow
got
the signs.
great signage.
Yeah.
You know, Fran's cousin, one of Dot Couch's cousins, Joe Sullivan, who owned Sound 70 and was Charlie Daniels' manager and different, on and on and on. He's the one who brought the first thing to the caverns, Cumberland Caverns.
Okay.
He talked somebody into buying that and saying, this is a place where you need to have music. And one of his bands, Becky, was the Cleverleys.
Oh yeah.
He
Love
was
the
their
Cleverleys.
manager, and then he left Nashville, and he was one of the original owners of Starwood. He left Nashville and went to out west to Branson, and Joe settled in Branson, and he's the one that sort of helped create that whole mystique out there in Branson.
Okay.
So it was started in radio in Manchester, Tennessee.
Yeah, on WMSR.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
How about that?
I've been a bluegrass DJ there on WMSR.
Yeah,
I'd love
sure
to get
did.
back to that
Sure
someday.
did.
I had
And
so
he
much
had
fun.
there was a building out on the highway, the old Manchester Highway, that the military built for a nightclub. At one of the times they were involved in Arnold Center out here, and he had a dance out there called Jolly Joe Hop. And when we were kids, that's when rock and roll first all got started, and he had a dance club out there. So, but
Lot
he's
of
the one who
music.
brought it to the original
Yeah.
Cumberland Caverns,
There's-
and then it came.
and then it-
Cumberland Caverns was really difficult because you had to walk back in there,
Yeah.
maybe a mile?
Oh, I don't know if it was that far, but
Well, it felt like it.
yeah.
Yeah, the Caverns is not like that.
No,
no,
Becky
it's
said,
like you
you
say.
just walk
you
right
walk
in,
and
sit right down.
sit in a comfortable seat
Yep.
and listen to
Yep.
the
And
Becky Buller
who
Band.
are the food trucks? What food is going to be available?
Pyro Pie, which is wood-fired pizza, and Sweet Scoops, which is ice cream.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That sounds really good. I think you sent the band the list, and I think I ordered the blue bacon.
Okay, great.
That sounded good. I'm a
That's great.
blue cheese fan. Me and
You're
blue-
any kind of cheese
me and blue
fan. This
cheese,
is the pimento
we-
cheese queen of the world
Yeah.
right here. I need to make you a batch, you
Yes,
know.
please.
Well, I can't catch you in town when I make it,
Yeah.
and it's.
Do you have
I mean,
a famous recipe?
well, yeah, it's I kind of do because I hate pimentos, so I don't put pimentos in it.
Oh, yeah.
I put roasted red bell peppers in it.
Okay.
And pass them off as pimentos.
Well, they don't know though. They're passed off as roasted red bell peppers because that flavor of that red pepper,
Yeah.
roasted red bell pepper, and it has pecans in it and sweet chip pickles.
Have you ever put jalapenos in your
A lot of people don't like heat. My wife doesn't like heat,
All right.
so
So you're not.
I would do it, but not for her. If I'm making, she gets it. She and Becky, I delivered to Becky a jar with a ribbon on
You
it
did.
one day
Thank you
over
very much.
to her house.
Yeah. So folks, what we're talking about is several years ago on Facebook. I started chronicling my journey with pimento cheese. I didn't grow up with pimento cheese because I'm from Minnesota, and my husband brought home 2 tubs of pimento cheese, and he set them on the stove, and he said, "All right, we're gonna have a cheese off." and he brought club crackers because that's my favorite medium.
That is the
for-
best vehicle you can find.
for pimento cheese, yes. And so it started this odyssey, and people really got into it, and people came to our door with pimento cheese, and somebody came up to the stage one time in North Carolina with this tub. We were about to go on for our set, and this person was like, here, we want you to try this pimento cheese. Like right before I was supposed to sing, and they said, we want it back afterwards. Like, we wanted their Rubbermaid tub back. Anyway, it's been a wild ride. And then he brought home grape soda, And he said, okay, we're going to have a grape off. And I said, oh, let me chronicle this. And he was like, no, you can't. People will show up at the door with this stuff, and we'll weigh 400 pounds each. Anyway, but we got to get back to our topic. We're here to tell you about May
That's all right.
2nd.
Hey, this is entertainment, folks.
There's a segue for pimento cheese.
Okay.
So one
All
of the things that South Cumberland Community Fund does is we partner with the University of the South in Suwanee. So one of the things that happens in our partnership is that we have a philanthropy course. So students at the university learn how to make grants, and they learn how to evaluate grant proposals, so that that they're prepared to be effective agents in the world after they graduate. And,
that's awesome.
And so I taught that class 1 year, and we're in the class, and we go out and we visit all kinds of places on the plateau. And then we analyze the grant proposals, and we talk about what makes a good grant proposal. And in this process, I mentioned offhand that I make a really good pimento cheese. and so my student said, "Oh, you've got to make pimento cheese." And so I had a big bowl of pimento cheese on the day that we decided which of the applications we were going to fund. We ate pimento cheese while we were doing that.
Pimento cheese powered your philanthropy.
Pimento cheese powered philanthropy.
There you go.
Philanthropy.
So once again, folks, we're here to tell you about benefit for the South Cumberland Community Fund happening at the Caverns in Pelham, Tennessee this Thursday night. 6 o'clock, doors open at 5. Come in advance for wood-fired pizza and ice cream, and you'll get to hear the students, old-time music students from the Grundy County Schools, along with the Mont Eagle Top of the Rock Choir from the Mont Eagle Elementary School. And then stick around because the Becky Buller Band is going to be performing after that.
I can't think of anything better to do.
Hope to see you there.
Outstanding. I will do my best.
Come as our guest.
Life is complicated, but I'll do my best.
All right.
You got to give us one more,
How about
Becky?
one more song?
How
Okay,
about it?
here's one more song from the new album. So this new album is, as I mentioned before, it's a song cycle, and a song cycle tells a story. And the story is my journey through depression and anxiety. It's been a lifelong thing for me. It wasn't diagnosed until during the pandemic years, when it just hit a crescendo for me, and had to deal with it. And writing this song cycle was very therapeutic for me. So I hope that people listening to it will find some hope and healing in it. I want you to know you're not alone. I want you to know that I'm praying for you if you're struggling with mental health as well. And I want to say one more thing. This song cycle was actually commissioned as a composed through piece to be performed at the Fresh Grass Festival in Bentonville, Arkansas last May. So just want to say thanks to the Fresh Grass Foundation for making this piece possible.
The foundations.
And there's the new album.
Yeah, right here.
It's going to be available everywhere May 17th. If you go to my website, BeckyBuller.com, that's BECKY, B as in boy, ULLER, BeckyBuller.com. You can find out where to pre-order it and pre-save it for streaming. You can already listen to a couple tracks wherever you do your streaming and downloading. But this one is called Alone. What's it gonna take here beyond the noise? I'm about to break. I've got no choice. I did everything you asked. You claimed the harvest yield. Now I'm eating grass in a potter's field. Is there something for which I must atone?
Becky Buller, ladies and gentlemen. Right here's the album. You go get that. It has 10 songs on it, and it's a jubilee. And what did you call it?
It's a song cycle.
It's a song cycle.
Yep.
So every song on here is part of the story that the album tells.
Yep.
I love that. I love that. And thank you for being with us.
I'm glad to be here.
I hope that we will have some people out there on Thursday. Yeah. Continue your good works. And what I want to tell you right now is, I'll give you my card before you leave. You're welcome to come back here and promote anything you want to do, anytime you want to walk through the door.
We didn't tell them where they can get tickets.
Well, you can get tickets at the door, and you can get tickets at our website, southcumberlandcommunityfund.org.
That's a long...
It's a long thing. Keep typing.
You'll get there.
You'll get there. southcumberlandcommunityfund.org. And I just want to say how lucky I feel that we are able to work with this amazing artist.
She's incredible.
Everybody that I meet says, "Oh, Becky, she's our hero," and I get it.
You get it now, don't you?
She's awesome.
Huh?
Oh, y'all are making me blush.
Yeah. I understand.
No, thank you. The pleasure's all mine.
We appreciate y'all for being here. And like I said, you're welcome back. Don't wait for something special.
You're going to give me your card, and I'm going to be in touch.
I am, because we need you.
Okay.
We need what you do, and we need you to promote what you do, because it's good stuff. Good deeds done.
Thank you
man.
so much.
I mean, that's what this deal's all about.
Good deeds done.
Good
with
deeds
pimento
done.
cheese.
Yeah, with pimento. And if you can't sell them anyway, slather it with pimento cheese.
Right.
It works. I guarantee you. We'll be back right after these messages.
I want to invite y'all to come by Clayton's, downtown Tullahoma. We try to serve the community, the area, and we try to help people with their feet and comfortable shoes. We still measure feet. We have a great new arch mat. We have insoles. Please come see us at Clayton's and let me help you find some comfortable shoes for those achy feet.
We're gonna fit your style. We're gonna make you smile. Service and quality at Clayton's Shoe Store. We're gonna fit your style.
My husband was diagnosed with a spinal infection. He lost his ability to swallow and the movement of his legs.
I couldn't turn over in bed, I couldn't walk, I couldn't eat.
They were just wonderful in the treatment and care they gave my husband.
I regained my mobility where I was able to go home.
It is miraculous.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
STEM is everywhere, like here, behind the scenes of The Walking Dead.
When we break down clothes, we tumble it with trisodium phosphate, rock salt, and dish detergent.
We stitched together images of our model and created a 3D set that can be walked through in a VR headset.
We're able to turn 12 walkers into 1,000 walker boards.
STEM can create new worlds on and off the screen. What will you make with STEM? Get inspired at shecanstem.com.
Hi, I'm Terry Stroop with Stroop's Accurate Refrigeration, your #1 hometown HVAC company. We offer dependable and reliable service on all your HVAC equipment. We also offer high-efficiency trained cooling units. Call us for your cooling needs. Your comfort is what we do.
It's summer, call Stroop.
Saul, how's my water quality expert? Litter is taking a holiday and going with the flow? Is that what you're saying? Oh, litter on our roadways is flowing into our waterways. Gotcha. And that's bad. Right, terrible. Please stop. Oh, okay, yeah. Go to NobodyTrashesTennessee.com to learn more. So, ladies and gentlemen.
talking history about this and that. It's Conversations with John and Pat, with John and Pat, with John and Pat.
Hello everyone, I'm John Rickman. And I'm Pat Welch, and this is the 11th installment of Conversations with John and Pat.
Clicking right by, clicking right by.
This is a rounding success.
I've got an old song, it's the one about Mountain Dew. I think Grandpa Jones made this famous years ago, but I always thought there were such cute verses in here. I think Felix and Boodle Bryant really did Rocky Top. They used some of the format by which this is sung.
It's going to be great, John, because cute certainly goes with us.
Sure. There's a big holler tree down the road here from me where you'd lay down $1 or $2. You can go round the bend and you come back again. There's a jug full of good old Mountain Dew. They call it that old Mountain Dew, and them that refuse it are few. I'll hush up my mug if you fill up my jug with some good old Mountain Dew. My brother Bill's got a still on the hill where he runs off a gallon or two. The buzzards in the sky get so drunk they can't fly from smelling that good old Mountain Dew. My Uncle Nort's kind of sawed off and short. He measures about 4'2". But he thinks he's a giant when you give him a pint of that good old Mountain Dew. My old Aunt June had some sweet-smelling perfume. Oh, it had such a sweet-smelling fume. But to her surprise, when they had it analyzed, it was nothing but good old Mountain Dew. Preacher rode by with his head high, said his wife had been down with the flu. He thought that I ought just to sell him a quart of that good old Mountain Dew. They call it that old Mountain Dew, and them that refuse it are few. I'll hush up my mug if you fill up my jug with some good old Mountain Dew.
Grandpa Jones was smiling above.
Oh, he was a great guy. Now, he came to Tullahoma one time and put on a little concert, and I believe Ms. Galbraith got him here for that. It was to make money for some.
Well, she was musically connected.
She was very gifted, and they had two daughters that were very musically gifted, and
one which lives here.
Yes. But Miss Galbraith was a wonderful person.
She certainly was.
And but anyway, there's a picture that Philip's going to put up on the screen, and back in Chapel Hill, when I was a youngster. That was the middle of Chapel Hill in about late 50s. That man out in the middle of the street there is the local bootlegger. Now,
he'd be the dispenser of Mountain Dew. He had the franchise rights.
Yeah, and I don't, his name was Charles. I'm not going to mention last names, but everybody knew him. He was loved by everybody. When he was young, he worked in a circus, and he told me he played a drum, told folks around there, and he would sell. You know, he was all, besides alcohol, he sold a lot of other things. But I want to tell you that my mother, when Charles got to be an older man, he fell down in his house and laid there for maybe a day or whatever, and then somebody found him and took him to the hospital in Nashville. And my mother had an appointment. She was in her 80s. She had an appointment in Nashville, and she said, well, let's go by the hospital and see Charles. Now, my mother was, she went to church Sundays. She was a very proper type person. But, she could, people in Chapel Hill accepted Charles, whatever kind of occupation he was in, just like you could have the druggist or the clothes salesman or dry goods salesman or grocer, whatever. It was sort of an interesting little community. Almost where the deacon in the community and the and the bootlegger could sit down for a casual meal together if they wanted to.
Chapel Hill was a very progressive town then.
I guess.
Reaching out to all people.
I guess. I don't know.
But John, you mentioned your mother at church every Sunday, and I never will forget before she had to come to Tullahoma to assisted living that we went to church with her one Sunday morning, and
First Methodist Church.
Right. We were trying to figure out how we were who's going to get to snuggle in next to her and that kind of thing, and she let us know real quick that neither one of us was going to be sitting really close to her, because she introduced to a lady that said, your mother said, "This is my pew buddy." I thought that was the cutest thing.
Right.
But while we're on church, I've got a story we can talk about that I believe would have been in the 80s, and it involved Kerm Boldig. Kerm came to town, I believe, from Wisconsin in the late 70s or real early 80s, and intended to retire. But he'd been in the business forms printing business and started getting tired of being retired, and set up Tennessee Business Forms, and it was a thriving business for a long time. The Boldig family eventually sold it 4 or 5 years ago, I guess it was. But Kerm was a really faithful member at First Methodist in Tullahoma, and he went through a period where he had been really sick and had flu and pneumonia, I think, and lost a lot of weight. And his first Sunday back, after he felt better, he really was happy to be in church, and he liked to sing, and his clothes were with the loss of weight, he was just tied on him, trying to hold everything together. And about, I guess, in the last chorus of a song, he was really into it and sucked in real good to get one of the last notes out, and his pants and belt were so loose from the weight loss that when he sucked in, that was all it took. His pants hit the floor, hit around his ankles, and he didn't feel them. So he's singing the last verse in his boxers, and his coat and tie on top of that, and another fine gentleman, John Brandt, was behind him. Mr. Brandt had worked for a long time for the gas company and the management end of it, and when he saw the pants hit the floor, he went, "Oh, Jesus!" This is a quick response, and that didn't, Kerm heard it, but that didn't bother him. He told me at one point that he just thought, well, they've got the Spirit moving in here today. So we just got to sign, John, that's it. So that finishes segment 11.
11. We're going to.
And we talked about church and going to heaven.
That's right.
So that's it. All right. So that's the end of the conversations for.
Never knowing which direction we're going to go.
That's right, number 11, but that's not the last one, we hope. Thank you.
Talking history about this and that. It's conversations with John and Pat, with John and Pat, with John and Pat.
Hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry, I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
For many senior citizens, life looks like this, but it doesn't have to. When you make your home at Parkview Senior Living, life after retirement takes on a whole new meaning. Daily exercise options, fun outings, happy hour, game nights, movies and popcorn, arts and crafts, enjoying friends over chef-prepared meals. Parkview Senior Living, where you're always home, but you're never home alone.
Hi, I'm Terry Stroop with Stroop's Accurate Refrigeration, your #1 hometown HVAC company. We offer dependable and reliable service on all your HVAC equipment. We also offer high-efficiency trained cooling units. Call us for your cooling needs. Your comfort is what we do.
It's summer golf trip.
So you've been meaning to do something healthy, commune with nature, get outdoors and meet new people. We have the perfect solution. Come hike with us. You can find a Tennessee Trails Association chapter near you, including Clarksville, Columbia Franklin, Highland Rim, Jackson, Knoxville, Oak Ridge, Memphis, Murfreesboro, Nashville, Plateau at Crossville, and Upper Cumberland. We're on the web at TennesseeTrails.org. It's fun, it's stress-free, and it's good for you. See you on the trails.
There is a road laid out for me.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
Leading down to the river. I am blind, but I need not see.
What do you think?
I know this road is there for me. If I'm really free, take me down to the river and walk.
Welcome back. I have my friend Jackie Duncan on the show today again. Hey, Jackie.
Hey, Peggy.
What's up? And I love the fact that you got on a jazz shirt.
Oh yeah, thank you. That's I'm advertising this week, I guess for this is my favorite radio station. They're located in Huntsville, Alabama. WJAB stands for Jazz and Blues. 90.9. And they're located on the campus of Alabama A&M University in Huntsville. And I've been.
Have you been going there back and forth for a while?
Oh, I have.
You talk to them sometimes, don't you?
Oh, I do. I was on the air there Sunday. Yeah, and they broadcast all over the world. 90.9 FM, And they right now they're in the middle of their fundraiser. They always did a fundraiser every year they've been in business 33 years.
That's awesome.
And they're nonprofit, of course. It's an NPR radio station, National Public Radio Station, and so they've been in business for 33 years. And they have to raise money. They go out and try to raise money every year, but they've been down for like 4 years during the COVID period.
Right.
And didn't get to do anything. Well, anyway, before then, I would go down every year. They put out an appeal every year for people to come and help, maybe to man the phones and do things like that or to make a pledge to the radio station and to help support them. And they play good music 24 hours a day.
And so they play all kinds of music, not just
All
jazz.
kinds, but it's mostly jazz and blues, yeah. But they have a little jazz hour and jazz hours, and then the blues hours on Sunday. And at night, same thing a lot of times later on at night. And they have different genres of music, and it's just great listening all the time. I've been listening to them for the whole 33 years.
Yeah.
And probably would have been there if they'd been there longer. But they put out an appeal. I remember hearing first one I heard when they started this 33 years ago, and they put out an appeal for people to come and help them and support them and to answer the phones and do whatever else. And so anyway, when I retired. I've been retired over 20 years now from Arnold Air Force Base.
Haven't we all?
Yeah. And so when I retired early, of course, and to be a blessing to some folks that were my dearest, closest ones in my life, my mother and my fiance.
I remember
at the time.
your mom.
They both were sick, and so they needed me then more than ever. So.
They were wonderful people, and your mother, I remember seeing her at the oncologist.
Oh yeah.
Take my husband, and she was there, and you and your sister often were there with her.
Sure were.
Linda.
Sure
and
were.
It's a great memory because I could tell she had a family that adored her.
Did.
She did. She was a great lady.
I know she was.
Everybody loved Mabel Duncan.
Mabel, I know.
Mabel Duncan, and so she was a blessing to us all.
And when did your father die?
My father died early. He died in, I forget, I'm sorry, not 66. No. This was about 80 or somewhere around there. I don't remember the dates. I get his and my brother's dates confused. And my dad, though, was in his 60s. My mom had lived to be 82. And she was the oldest one in her family, I think, that survived, because most of them, and they were from Sewanee.
Oh, they were?
They were from Sewanee family.
But you were born here because you were the first, one of the babies born out at the base, right?
My dad saw her as a young lady in Sewanee. Young men would always leave, go to another town to check out the girls and whatever, and Dad did that. I did that as a young man. We go and see who's over here, anyway. But Dad saw my mother at a young age, and I tell everybody, he said, "The Lord is my shepherd, and I see what I want." But anyway, that was just something I always tell people. But anyway, he brought her off the mountain and got married. And
how old was she? Do you happen to know?
She was right at 18, I think, when he saw her.
Well, my mother married at 15. Can you imagine?
She was 17 or 18, I believe. But her mother had died, and her father died. They both worked for University of the South.
Right.
And had worked and I thank God I've got some history of them, and a picture or two of him, of her dad. I think it seems like we've got a picture of him, but we've got some history of them through the University of the South. A letter or two that was written by I think the then Chancellor of University of the South, or somebody who later became Chancellor, that was a good friend of my grandmother's, and it's a blessing. We got those old letters, and we shared them with the University of the South when they were trying to recover part of the history of the early history of the university. We shared that information with them. So
there's a lot of history that has kind of been buried and lost, and it's wonderful that you have a recollection of so many things.
Oh, thank God for that. But
I know it's
and it's, I think, I guess I've tried to help my memory. I don't want to, and I'm not advertising for anything, but except for the fact that you do the best you can to retain your memory.
Of course.
And I try to eat good food. You can't eat junk food all the time and expect to have a good memory.
Exercise.
But think about it. Yeah, and you try to take care of yourself.
You have to take care of your body.
But
it's important.
Yeah, I take a supplement that I think really helps me too, because as a writer.
You know, people are going to be calling us up to find out what it is you take.
No, that's okay. But it's just common stuff I buy at Walmart or grocery store. But the things that you can take to help your memory, they advertise it on TV all the time. And I think it's a smart investment on my part to try to ensure that I can keep my memory intact, And I do the best I can to do that.
But sometimes, and I'm an example of that, when you get older, a lot of your life is tied up in your memory. A lot of things that make you feel good.
Everything you got.
Sometimes things that make you feel bad, but it's important to retain your memory and
everything
stay active.
You got is
you have to stay active.
Tomorrow is not promised. The present is this moment that we're speaking.
And yesterday
and all
becomes
you've got.
All you've got. That's
yesterday is all you've got, all your memories. So if you lose that, it's kind of hard to relate. Period.
Exactly.
I think But I found a long time ago that certain foods would help me with my memory and my writing.
What's the best food?
I don't know about the best food. Maybe not for everybody, but I thought they call them legumes. Legumes, some people would call them, but beans like pinto beans and things like that. That used to help me as much as anything.
I can still smell my mother's pinto beans cooking.
Oh, mine
Can you?
Too. Oh, yes. And my
I get off
grandmother.
the school bus and I smell that aroma, and it made me feel so good.
My grandmother was the greatest cook in the world during that time. Then after she passed, and my mother was the greatest cook in the world.
My grandmother was the worst cook. My grandmother was a sight. I wish you could have known her.
Oh boy, yeah, I wish.
I see you got your book in your lap.
I do. And,
Living on Purpose, great book.
Yeah, it's all I brought with me today. Usually I got my little folder just in case with other things in it. But like I said, this week I went to a rehearsal Saturday in Lynchburg, group that I sing with the Coleman March Ensemble. It's a gospel ensemble.
I want to hear them again.
Well,
I'd like to have them back on our stage.
Well, we'll be glad to come back.
Wonderful group.
We'll be glad to come. They're a great, fantastic group. We're all getting old and starting. Some of them died out, but we're still together and still. Most of us are still.
Getting old should not end your life. You know what I mean?
No.
People don't need to walk away just because they're getting old.
No, and none of them walk away. We're still dedicated.
And it's a great group.
Yeah, it is. It's a great group.
I was so sad when Coleman lost his wife, but he pulled through and stepped up and kept us going, and I love it.
Yeah. Well, we did a program just last week.
Where was that?
Weeks. Well, actually, we did one in. We've done several. Did one in Fayetteville. They did one in Fayetteville. I wasn't able to be there for that one, but we did one in Winchester just about a month or so ago, and but we're busy. Maybe one a month or so, maybe, and we got some more coming up.
Good.
Yeah, we've got some more coming up.
And do y'all do a special something at Christmas?
We do. Usually it's in always every year in Lynchburg. We'd always do one at their church there, Berry Chapel, AME Church. We'd always do a Christmas program right before New Year, and but it's always been a blessing to do that, and so that's just to culminate the end of the year. Then we've got a scholarship program we do, and we just did that one a couple of months ago.
Good.
So,
and how do you give the scholarship? Is that to a student or?
Well, we've got a district. We're part of the Elk River District Association, and within that district we have 13 churches, and we're based in Winchester. We've got a church over there that we all usually meet on at certain times of the year, and have an association.
And so the scholarship goes to who?
Well, the scholarship usually goes to somebody in the area say Bedford, Coffee, Lincoln, Moore.
Is it scholarship to a college or?
Scholarship to college, yes. And then we have another one. We have a scholarship program as well at through our association that I'm part of the committee on that
wonderful.
One too.
Yeah.
So we're doing something all the time. But right now, like I said, this week. There's Jazz and Blues WJAB radio station and 90.9 in Huntsville that on the campus of Alabama A&M, and those guys used to come on and say on the beautiful campus of Alabama A&M, and a friend up here, somebody very close to one of John's real close people told me that same thing. Said, "Oh, the beautiful camp." Said she used to hear that all the time down there, so she listened. So there are quite a few people up here that listen. Ain't no doubt about it. And Sunday, when I got out of rehearsal in Lynchburg, I was on my way back home. I didn't get turned.
How often do y'all rehearse?
We rehearse about especially right now, once every 2 or 3 times, a couple of times a month, maybe.
And do you take in new people? Sometimes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, we got to take new one to grow. That's for sure. So and we're
how big is the choir now?
Choir's about 25 now, 20 or 25.
That's a good number.
Yeah.
Lots of good harmony, because I remember when I heard them before, it was beautiful harmony.
Well, I'm saying I got out coming to Tullahoma after rehearsal, and decided, and I had the radio tuned to this radio station here, and they started playing WJAB FM 90.9.
WJAB.
They played my song that Sunday, and this past Sunday, and
what song was that?
It was an old song by the Ohio Players, Skin Tight. Yeah, and they used to have to, when I was young, they'd have to stop the car when Skin Tight came on, and let me out.
What can you sing a few notes?
No. Just
Now I wanna hear it.
You can pull it up on the internet.
Okay.
Just skin
And-
tight.
and
Ohio
what's-
Players. The Ohio Players.
Okay.
Has
The
no
Ohio
song.
Players.
So anyway, but I turned around and I heard that song come on at the radio station down there, and I turned around and went back to the radio station. And I went upstairs where they broadcast from, and saw old friends I haven't seen in several years because they haven't done this fundraiser for the last 4 years. So anyway, I saw them, and we had great reunions and everything. And I'm going back Friday.
Oh.
Friday they're going to do it goes on through Sunday, this next Sunday, and so I'm going to go back Friday and going to be on the air for doing poetry out of my book.
Oh, fabulous.
Yeah,
Why don't you do one of your poems real quick before we go?
Okay.
Because they're going to cut us off.
Okay, it says,
Something you wrote.
okay, something I wrote, all right. Here's one that says, don't tell me, one that we test our kids a lot of times saying, well, wait a minute. Here's one called the tool bag. And so a child is sent into a vast world of vast unknowns with a bag of tools, one missing through no fault of his own. No one not told that his shortcomings may well hold him back, but that wise use of all he has makes up for what he lacks. He realizes early he must sow some special seeds to ensure he has the things required to be all he can be. For life does not depend on what we do or don't possess, and to dwell on things we do not have can void all happiness. If no one ever points it out that he has come up short, then his challenge may be masked by the content of his heart. He may sometimes feel slighted if he takes time to compare his with someone else's bag and sees his lost tool there. A wise man knows his race is not with man right from the start. For man measures man by wealth, while God does by the heart. Time will tell the story, and when all time is past, a man has only done his best when he's used up all he has.
I love that.
Thank you.
Man has done his best when he's used up all he had. We'll be back with I don't even know what. Thanks for being here, Jackie.
Thank you. Thank you.
You have a lot to say.
It's
And
always
I
a
love
pleasure
it.
to be with you.
Smoking tobacco accounts for 3 of every 10 fire deaths in the United States.
Tullahoma Fire Department needs you en route to a structure fire, 202 Main Street. Heavy smoke showing. Neighbors advise child trapped inside.
Lighters, matches, and associated smoking paraphernalia are the leading cause of preschooler fire deaths. We as firefighters know that most structure fires can be prevented.
I've got one! Command, this is primary search. We have a victim. Need EMS to meet us at the front door.
Please help us to give you a fighting chance. This can be prevented. Contact the Tullahoma Fire Department for a free home safety inspection.
What's a Tennessee vacation? It starts off like any road trip, and then, boom, adventure and thrills everywhere you look, which happens to be some of the most beautiful scenery in the country. Music here, history there, and all kinds of green in between. Come relax and unwind, or bring the crowd for some stargazing, or stargazing. Whatever you do, come hungry and expect an awesome soundtrack. It's all right here in Tennessee. We're playing your song. For a free vacation guide, visit tnvacation.com.
Come on. Yeah. Come on. Yeah. 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 Woo.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff. Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size.
Yeah.
Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
thank you, John. Thank you, camera lady. Her other one's not here with us today. Hope she's having a good trip wherever she is. And thank you, Mark and Clay, for sponsoring this Millennium Moment. You're a great company and do good work, and we're grateful that you share that with the public and with us. Today, I'd like to share something that's dear to everyone's heart, and that is a kind of a wrap-up on Memorial Day. You know, we had so many wonderful friends and families that took part in World War II and Korea and Vietnam, and the war years, 1941 to 1946, when the big Camp Forrest was here that trained so many wonderful soldiers. We thought they were old men, but the truth of the matter was they were just a year or two older than we were. They were right out of high school, and they were great people. And I thought I'd share with you a moment today about the USOs and the servicemen's clubs here in Tullahoma. And way down on South Jackson Street on the site of the Tullahoma Utilities building was a USO building. On the corner of Carroll and South Jackson Street, where the city school administration building is today, was the Catholic USO. And the Traveler's Aid and the Jewish USO was on the in a building, the old Norman Davis home, where it's now the McCord and Henry law offices at the corner of Moore and North Jackson Street. The American Legion bought the USO on South Jackson Street when it became available and surplus in 1946, and moved the Camp Forrest Library into there, and it was used for a lot of clubs, for functions and meetings and dances and that sort of thing. 1949 it burned to the ground, and then the American Legion met at the old Traveler's Aid Jewish Community Center. That was the brick building that had been the Norman Davis home. Later the Legion, of course, built on North Jackson Street, and in the meantime, one of the USO buildings still stands here in Tullahoma, and it's in this 200 block of West Grundy Street, right behind the Tullahoma Municipal Building. It was the Protestant USO building. It's still standing there. It became surplus and is now being used by a church. But it was a scene of a whole lot of activities, and the picture that I hold now is the first contingent of World War II veterans that had gotten their points and had come home, and this was in November of 1945, and the veterans of World War I were hosting with the American Legion a dinner for them on November the 11th at the USO building on West Grundy Street. And such notable people that are still with us, many of them have gone to their great reward, but such notables, as you can see on the front row, kneeling in the white shirt, is our dear friend Keithley Wright, and such people as Joe Buck Camel, that's not with us anymore, but Barney Welch and Guy Gowan and Howard Peck and Earl Glover, those fine people that have served in the Navy or in the Army or a branch of the military service. They got their points and had come home to their families and their friends and had gathered for a November 11th, used to be called Armistice Day, but now I think Congress, I don't know what year, which wouldn't make any difference, but combine all of the Veterans Day, Armistice Day celebration in what is now called Veterans Day on November the 11th. There used to be parades, and I know the school children would get out and march to town, and there would be a band there and speaking in Davidson Park. Sad to say, that time is gone, because even this past weekend for Memorial Day, many people let it go by without even thinking about it. Thank goodness many of the veterans did have the forethought and the sacrifice to go out and place flags on our departed veterans at the cemeteries here. Some 2,000 were placed at the graves, and they made that great sacrifice for us and for freedom. For that, we're really grateful. Now, upcoming in next 2 or 3 weeks, I believe June the 14th, 2 weeks from today, will be Flag Day. And I would like to remind all of our citizens to think about Flag Day, the meaning of it, and we're going to show some things that I think will be interesting to you, one of which is the flag that flew over the post headquarters at Camp Forrest. So that and other things we'll be looking forward to, because this is not the end of the story. There's a lot more to come. Thank you, and have a great day.
Hi, my name is Ringo, here at Barkview Senior Living. They're human-friendly. That's why I love it here, and so does my senior human. When they want a bite, they get chef-prepared meals, and so do I. Movies in the theater, day trips, walks on the trail, and other senior humans to play with. The grass and the grounds are exquisite. It's everything my human needs to be healthy and active. Barkview. A Parkview Senior Living. For your dog's best friend, you.
Every day, thousands of kids start vaping. And I can't let this happen to my kid. Of course, it's awkward to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping. Hey, bestie, how's sketches, right? It's hard to get their attention. Ready? Go. Yes. Look at that. You even turn yours over. So if you want to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping, you got to get it trending.
No, you're doing it wrong.
Let's go.
Can we talk?
Yeah, what's up?
Visit talkaboutvaping.org for tips on when and how to have the vape talk.
We teach Parkinson's patients how to move big and not let the Parkinson's slow them down. I've had patients I've treated in-house that could not even stand up, could not roll over in the bed, left the facility walking with a walker, have come back to us in outpatient and continued their big program and are now completely, handling life. The success of the program is just phenomenal.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Okay. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
Hi, I'm Terry Stroop with Stroop's Accurate Refrigeration, your #1 hometown HVAC company. We offer dependable and reliable service on all your HVAC equipment. We also offer high-efficiency trained cooling units. Call us for your cooling needs. Your comfort is what we do.
It's summer, call Stroop.
All right, here we go. Bring her in when she gets ready. See this hat right here? That's my Alzheimer's Tennessee hat. This weekend at Tullahoma High School, we are having our 5th Purple Olympics, and it starts registration at 8:30, and the Olympic Games start at 9. We'll be through about 12. Free food, got hot dogs. You gonna be around this weekend?
I'll be rolling out on Friday morning, John.
Oh, rolling this gentleman right here is, you hear me, you've heard me for years make the statement, if you don't know who to vote for, Bart Burton for president. This is Bart Burton right here. This is Peggy Burton's son, and I'm honored to say a friend of mine. And every time he comes to town, I just love getting together with him and sharing adventures and news and good stuff going on. Bart was a general
I was fortunate to be a general in the Army. That's
In the
correct.
Army.
And I cherish our friendship much more.
Yeah, but and he was over in Baghdad and all these places and stuff, and he came back. He got, I don't think he maybe lost a fingernail along the way or something, but unscathed, very fortunate, but very, very proud of the men that he served with, and to this day still, he honors the ones who pass when they pass.
Well, the men and women I had
Yes.
the great pleasure of serving with for over 3 decades in service to this country. Quite an honor, John. Quite an honor.
Are you completely out of that business now, or do you still have something to do with what's going on in the government?
Well, I'm completely out of the U.S. military.
Yeah, sure.
They gave me my thank you note, and I went out after 3 decades of service.
And proud to get that thank you note.
Yeah, and now I work in industry, trying to do the best that I can to make certain that our warfighters at the forward edge, where it all matters, have the right type of equipment to meet the challenges that they'll be faced with, both today and into the future.
Right.
Trying to take a hard look at where this world is going, the nature of conflict and contest and what that means, and recognize that those young people out there are no different than the young person that I was many years ago. They're just a lot more technically savvy, but they will ultimately have to face some pretty tough times. We want to make sure they have the right kit to face those challenges.
Well, and I'm reading a book by John Meacham right now, and he goes it's called The Soul of America, and if you haven't read it, you need to read it. But he starts back at the Revolutionary War, and those people in the Civil War, you go fight, here you go, here's your stick, here's your rake or a shovel, here's your gun.
Yeah.
And you head that way, and the person involved is still, to a certain extent, although technology is huge, there are still those young people, male and female, who get that command.
Well, ultimately it's those young folks on the forward edge that'll carry the day.
Yeah.
And there's different views on what conflict will ultimately mean, but we got to keep those youngsters first and foremost in our mind as we put technology in their hands. And there's a great book out there called the Soldier's Load and the Weight of a Nation. And if we're not careful, we will encumber those young people with a whole bunch of new boxes, a whole bunch of weight that they've got to personally carry into the fight that just exhausts them and overwhelms them when they may not necessarily need that. And what they really need is something that they can integrate with very rapidly, put to use very effectively, so they can come home as safely as possible. And that's where we try to keep, at least where I try to put my energy now that I'm in industry, is understanding how we don't encumber the warfighter with too many bright, shiny objects, but really enable and enhance their performance with the right amount of kit, the right type of kit, and in the right time.
All right, so you don't get to hear people speak like that very often, folks. This gentleman right here has been there, he's seen it, he's left it, and now he's pledging his life to make sure that the young people on the forward edge, as you say, have the stuff they need to survive.
Yep.
Thank you, Bart Burton.
Thank you,
and
John.
thank you for being here and being with, and thank you for that mom of yours.
Is she something?
She's the best there is. And so we're saying goodbye.
We'll be right back.
We'll be right back. So what we'll be.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Okay. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again, then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
Folks, we're back, and we're going to keep Bart with us. Peggy's back on stage, and I know, you know,
I am so proud to have my son at home.
She's my sister. She's my sister from another mother, and I'm glad to have two sisters. And there's one of them right there. There's Candy just walked in. But Bart, thank you for what you did. Thank you for what you continue to do.
Well, that's my honor, John.
And if you can't find somebody you like on the ballot, this guy right here is what the United States of America needs for a president. You vote right in. Wouldn't it be something if a write-in vote was to win an
Oh, you're going to
From Tullahoma, Tennessee.
You'd have to quit your job.
Don't follow his lead.
Well, let me do it then. Hey, thanks for being here, and thanks for being who you are.
And go out there and buy a ticket for Jazz tonight.
There you
Jazz
go.
on Jackson.
Yeah.
That's
Come on out
right.
to Jackson.
That's right. Jazz on Jackson.
My cat Jazz thought he was starring in
Jazz
that.
man starring in it. All right, folks, we'll see you next time. Thank you.